What is going on, my friends? Welcome to today's video. My name is Brian DaCosta.
And I am Ray Diaz, baby.
And today we are talking about meal timing.
Oh.
But we're also working out.
Okay.
Let's get into the video.
Even when I'm alone, you'll be with me. It's time to start up the show. To our dreams and memories.
What is going on, my friends? Welcome to today's video. My name is Brian DaCosta of BrianDaCosta.com. If you are a seasoned subscriber, welcome back to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, dropping your first like, dropping your first comment. It would really help out the channel. I think I have that saying down to a science now, to be honest. I think I've said it the last 4 videos. Has a little bit of a ring to it. I got some things. So my pill container for my supplements, I'll go into the supplements in a subsequent video, but it's too small. There's too many pills. When you're taking glucosamine, you're taking multivitamin, you're taking vitamin C, you're taking your creatine, you're taking your fish oils, it just becomes a lot. So I jumped on Amazon and got this pill container Sunday through Saturday, 7 days, and this is gonna hold plenty of pills. And then I got, this is not sponsored, by the way, I got a scale off of Amazon because I have not been weighing my food, and as we draw closer to the competition, I am going to be weighing my food so I can be very accurate with the calories and the macronutrients. So that's the nutrition side of things, and that leads perfectly in today's video. We're talking about meal timing because, the topic of this video is actually sparked by a comment I got on one of my posts on Instagram. Not sure the individual who commented it. I'll post his comment right here, and let's go into it. And something I see with other YouTube videos and just social media posts that cover meal timing is they lack context. They lack who they're speaking to when they're talking about meal timing, and who you're speaking to is everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this video into, I'm gonna be speaking to 2 different people basically. I'm gonna be speaking to the average Joe, and I'm gonna be speaking to the athlete Joe. So we've got average Joe, we've got athlete Joe. So let's go into average Joe first on meal timing. So Mr. Average Joe, or Joette, if you're watching this, and this is someone who, is just into fitness, is looking to lose a bit of fat, just to get in a bit better shape. Perhaps you have a vacation coming up, you've got a busy life, you have no desire to be super shredded or anything. That's the average Joe. And for you, meal timing, I cannot emphasize this enough, it does not matter. It truly does not matter. What matters most for you, what you get to focus on, is making sure you're getting adequate sleep, making sure you're getting adequate water, and making sure your caloric intake is accurate to your goals, is appropriate for your goals, whether you're trying to lose fat, whether you're trying to gain muscle. If you're trying to lose fat, eating in a caloric deficit. If you're trying to gain muscle, eating in a caloric surplus. And then the added layer on top of the caloric intake is your macronutrients have to make sense. That's proteins, that's carbs, that's fats, being sure that you're getting about 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein per day. Carbs and fats vary based on your goal. That's really what the average Joe should be focusing on first, okay? And that will get you very, very far. It's a 90, 95%, dare I even say 100% of your goal. Because a lot of people, average people walking around, you're not tracking your calories, at least consistently. You're not tracking your macronutrients consistently. Your sleep may be all over the place. Your water intake's not really there. So that's what you get to focus on, average Joe, the first thing. But if you're an average Joe sitting there, you have no desire to get insanely lean, and you're like, I'm already dialed into my calories and macros, what's next? Then we can also talk about meal timing. So meal timing is, as we say, how you split up your meals throughout the day. Are you gonna do breakfast, lunch, dinner? Are you gonna do breakfast, lunch, dinner with a few snacks mixed in between? Are you gonna break it up like a bodybuilder and do 6 meals a day or 8 meals a day? It's up to you. And for the average Joe, I'd say whatever you feel you can realistically stick to that's sustainable for you is your go-to. Because what's the point of trying to fit yourself into a mold of eating 6 to 8 meals per day if it's a genuine task? You have to break away from what you're doing during the day to go eat, heat things up. I'm all about reality and practicality. And if it's not realistic and practical for you, then don't do it. So for average Joe, just pick a meal cadence that you can stick to and be consistent with. It's not about what you can do for 1 week, okay? I'll say that again. It's not about what you can do for 1 week or even 2 weeks. It's about what you can do for 6 months, a year, 5 years, okay? That's the frame that we adopt, because having a body that you're very proud of, it's a lifestyle. You don't want it to leave. And when you switch up your practices and you're doing something that's not natural to you, well, by definition, that's not a lifestyle. That's a lifestyle alteration that you're trying to fit yourself into. So, average Joe, eat when you would like to, but be consistent with your calories and your macronutrients. Break. Now we're over here to Athlete Joe. So, Athlete Joe, if you're a man, you're about 15% body fat. If you're a female, you're 22 to 25% body fat, maybe even a bit lower. And you're like, hey, I'm hitting the gym. I'm on a training plan. I know my calories. I know my macronutrients. My sleep is A1. My water intake is A1. What's next? What can I do? Well, then we can focus on meal timing. And I look to individuals who are much more intelligent than me on these types of topics. Individuals like my coach, Paul Ravella, individuals like Lane Norton, individuals like Doug Miller, who's arguably the best natural bodybuilder of all time and a big inspiration to me. These guys talk about meal timing and the importance of meal timing, especially as you get to lower body fat percentages. It really does start to matter. And then we can start intentionally timing specifically our carbohydrate intake. And what I like to do and what the science proves out is carbohydrate timing surrounding a workout and intra-workout, which intra-workout means during your workout, is actually very beneficial because our body's preferred source of energy is, as we say in many videos, is carbohydrates, which is converted to glycogen, which is energy in the muscle, and you burn glycogen when you are training in the gym. So logic says, why don't I give my body some glycogen before I go train in the form of carbohydrates, rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, whatever, Sour Patch Kids, so I can perform at a more optimal level. And then transitioning from pre-workout to intra-workout, what about having some dextrose, having some quick, simple digesting, high GI, high glycemic index carbohydrates that you can metabolize very easily while you're training, doing rigorous activity that's not gonna irritate your stomach, and that comes in the form of powders. Okay, so that can be something that's very beneficial for those who are on a cut and those who are also bulking, especially for those who are in a lean gain bulk phase because you have more calories to spare. Intra-workout nutrition, you can do it when you're on a cut, but you just have to pay more attention to the caloric intake because at the end of the day, if you're not in a caloric deficit, the law of thermodynamics says you're not going to lose fat. So sure, take in calories during your workout, but be aware of how many calories, how many carbohydrates you're taking in. We don't want to take in proteins and fats during our workout, okay? During the workout, it's carbohydrates, if anything. Personally, I have taken in dextrose, I have taken in simple carbohydrates during a workout. I have noticed a bit of a difference, especially in a bulk phase, but honestly, I haven't done it in the last 2 years and I haven't implemented it thus far in my contest prep here. So it is possible to still get to lower body fat percentages while not having intra-workout carbs. I would guess right now I'm probably 8.5% to 9% body fat, and I'm gonna be continuing to get lower, and I may introduce it at that point depending on what my coach shares with me. And then we can transition to post-workout carbohydrates, post-workout nutrition, which goes to replenish the glycogen in the muscle. So you burn calories during your workout, you drain your muscle of glycogen during strenuous exercise, deadlifts, squats, bench press, all these things. And then post-workout, your body's like, dude, give me something, give me some calories, give me some nutrition. I wanna rebuild, I wanna refuel. I wanna give this muscle a reason to grow because during the workout, we tear down that muscle. We actually create micro tears in the muscle. And how are we gonna repair those micro tears? Well, it's through nutrition, it's through eating, it's through having a well-balanced meal post-workout, and not just post-workout, but the days after that specific workout, okay? So in the practical sense for Athlete Joe, carb timing surrounding your workout becomes important. And that's something that I am actually focusing on right now. During the times that I'm not training, like in the morning, late at night, I'm taking in protein, which protein stays consistent for me throughout the day, and I'm taking in fats as a primary fuel source. I don't shun carbs, but I don't go to carbs primarily. I'll usually have lower carb meals during times where I'm more sedentary. I'm sitting at the computer, I'm watching a show, I'm leading a coaching call. It's not requiring me to move around and burn a lot of calories, therefore I don't really need that many carbohydrates. So Athlete Joe, save some carbohydrates. I'd say 60 to 70% of your carbohydrates for the couple hours before your training session, for during your training session, and the couple hours after your training session. So guys, we're gonna keep this video brief. I hope you found this one helpful. Average Joe, don't worry about meal timing so much. Dial in on the things that are gonna push it out for you, get you to that 95%. And for the Athlete Joe who's already pretty much optimized the 95%, then we can go to focus on carbohydrate timing, meal timing surrounding your workout. And briefly again, pre-workout meal, the hour to 2 hours before your training session, can be a well-balanced meal. You know, chicken, rice, broccoli is a standard bodybuilding meal, but it works. That's a great blend of lean protein source, healthy carbohydrates, and fats, and then post-workout can be the same thing. Chicken, broccoli, rice, or steak, potatoes, rice, these sources are interchangeable. That should really be the focus for Athlete Joe. And Average Joe, if you would like to implement this practice as well, it's not gonna hurt you. It's just trying to shoot a squirrel with a cannon, if that makes sense, because you don't need the cannon yet because you're not there. Does that make sense? Okay. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Please do not forget to drop a comment below and add your 2 cents. Perhaps you have an opinion on this matter. Please do not forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, of course. And then if you're not subscribed, please just go ahead and subscribe. It'd be very helpful. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.
To the base. I'm broken. To the base. I'm broken. To the base.